Vash Venture back with another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how I recover my 18650 cells from laptop batteries after I actually get them stripped down out of the case, down to bare minimum 18650 cells, you know, get the nickel strips off, get all the gunk and all the glue, try to identify them to figure out what they are, that type of process. So after I get all of that done and I'm down to individual cells that I want to concentrate on, that's more or less what I'm doing today. So I'm going to start off with simple multimeter. This is a free multimeter you can actually just get from Harbor Freight with just about any purchase. Like go in there and buy a $1 item, use their online coupon for the free multimeter, and you get like a $10 multimeter. It's not the best one in the world. It's certainly not a useless item. It's quite a good multimeter. I've had many of these. Actually, no, I have blown up one of these, but I personally think they're well worth the money. You know, if you're doing some crazy accurate stuff, maybe don't use something so simplistic, use something a little bit up. But for recovering 18650 cells or just getting started with this whole solar, lithium ion, battery, e-bike stuff, the whole shebang, you know, it's just a great way to get into the industry. So past that, what I do is after I rip out these cells, over here, I have 1 volt or less than 1 volt all the way up to greater than 3 volts. I didn't bother doing greater than 4 volts because realistically, if they're above 3 volts, it's going to be a good cell. I'm just going to charge it all the way up, discharge it, and try to figure out the milliamps from there. If it's under 2 volts or, under 3 volts, greater than 2 volts, realistically at that point, I could probably get it up to 2.9 volts, throw it into my charger, and let it count all the way up to a full charge. And at that point, I'm probably going to get the full measurement or close to the full estimation of what that 18650 is able to actually store. Past that, I can discharge it and I can recharge it and figure out more specifically if it's going to be a good cell. So with this specific cell, I'm sure I've already tested it. It should be less than 1 volt. So double check it here. Typical settings if you don't know your multimeter. I have it set to voltage, not amperage, and I just have it set in the middle. Typically you want to start with the greatest setting possible just in case, so it doesn't blow up your multimeter. Negative to negative, positive to positive. Juggle it a little bit. I should probably have an actual setup to test these, but I've just been doing it by hand, like a little jig. All right, make sure we got them firmly cupped there. We're at 0.64, 0.63 volts, and to me, that should still be 100% recoverable. I'm currently concentrating on my ICR cells I got. I got a whole bunch of Samsung ICR cells in, and just been charging up the ones that are full and sorting out the rest. And pretty much everything in here right now is ICR cells. All my extra cells, my CGRs, my LGAs, all those cells, my Sanyo cells, all sitting down here, still waiting to be charged. Those aren't necessarily my priority. With my research I've done, these are, you know, the top of the line of what I've actually been able to get out of laptops. Mostly due to capacity and amp draw potential. I think these can actually draw up to 20 amps if I did my research correctly, at least 10. So, as you can probably see in the background, let me double check. I'll move us a little bit closer. Alright, move this a bit closer. As you can see, this cell right here is pretty much done. It is already, it's only accepting 23 milliamps. It's already up to 2.9 volts, which is my goal. So I'm just going to toss this one in the done box. And like I said, this one is sitting at 0.63 or so. So I should just be able to feed it 1 milliamp, and then it should be 100% ready to go. There we go. Already jumping up on voltage. And to me, that's a pretty safe increase. I haven't had a dead cell from feeding it too many milliamps. And what I do is I let it climb up to 2.9 volts, and then the milliamps will start dropping off. And once they get to around, 50-ish, I'll take off the battery, and then it'll be ready for the next step, which is right over here, which you guys have kind of already seen. And that's just this charging station, where currently I'm taking 8 cells. I only have 2 of them weren't working, or 2 of the banks didn't end up working correctly. And what this does right here is on the top left, you can kind of see that it does the voltage output, how long it's been doing it, and the actual milliamps it's fed into it, and the current current amperage it's actually taking. So right now this is on a charged cell, and so it's taking no milliamps. Let's see if I can get a closer picture of that. There we go. Come on, focus. There we go. So it's not taking any more, whereas this one over here is almost done. It's only taking 0.127 milliamp, and it took about 2 hours to feed it almost 1,000 milliamps. Whereas, back here, let's see here, they're all pretty well charged. Got one here. As you can see, these are not the best LCDs, but it's still taking 0.2 milliamps and charging pretty well. So these are just so I can actually discharge these and figure out what the milliamp is going to be. There we go. So that is my charging setup. Pretty simplistic. This whole thing cost me about 40 bucks to set up. These were about $3 a piece, kind of expensive, but considering the type of hardware that you can get, it's along the same lines. It doesn't necessarily have the same functions automatically. You got to do things manually. Oh no, kind of that type of person myself anyways. And, 40, 50 bucks for a DC charger. And I think I've spent maybe, well, on this little batch, I've only spent about 60 bucks on all my laptop batteries. So, I'll show you off the rest of my batteries real quick. Those are all US 18650s. Those are all Sanyo. I think they're UR 18650s UR. And I've got, those are all CGRs. Those I still have to identify. These are all my LGAs. And let's see here. These are all ICRs. Those are charged up to 4.2 volts. These have been measured for their milliamps. These are awaiting to be measured for their capacity. And these are my other potential dead ones out of this current batch. So, not too shabby. Oh, and I should mention that the tubs that they're in, those are just dollar store tubs. They're held together with thumbtacks. I love it. So the whole setup is sub $150. And at that point, you can definitely process 18650s. So until next time, this has been Fast Venture.